It's day 42 of reading through the scriptures. We're going to have Genesis 42, Isaiah 42, Psalm 42, and Mark 14. Alright, starting in Genesis. And when Yaakov, that's Jacob, saw that there was grain in Mitzrayim, Yaakov said to his sons, "Why do you look at each other?" And he said, "See, I have heard that there is grain in Mitzrayim. Go down to that place and buy for us there, and let us live and not die." And Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Mitzrayim. But Yaakov did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, "Lest some harm come to him." And when the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the scarcity of food was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he was the one who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted like as a stranger to them and spoke to them harshly and said to them, "From where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamt about them, and he said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said to him, "No, my master, but your servants have come to buy food. We are all one man's sons. We are trustworthy. Your servants are not spies." But he said to them, "No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said, "Your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And see, the youngest is with our father today, and one is no more." And Joseph said to them, "It is as I spoke to you, saying, you are spies. By this you shall be proven. By the life of Pharaoh, you do not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you and let him bring your brother while you are kept in prison. So let your words be proven to see whether there is any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh you are spies." And he put them all together in prison for 3 days. Now Joseph said to them the third day, "Do this and live, for I fear Elohim. If you are trustworthy, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house, and you go, bring grain for the scarcity of food of your houses. And bring your youngest brother to me, and let your words be confirmed, and you do not die." And so they did. And they said to each other, "Truly we are guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the distress of his life when he pleaded with us, yet we did not listen. That is why this distress has come upon us." Interesting how factual that statement actually is. And Reuben answered them, saying, "Did I not speak to you, saying, 'Do not sin against the boy,' and you would not listen? And see, his blood is now required of us." And they did not know that Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. And he went, and he turned himself away from them and wept, but came back to them and spoke to them. And he took Shimon from them and bound him before their eyes. And Joseph commanded, and they filled their sacks with grain, also to put back every man's silver into his sack, and to give them food for the journey. And thus it was done for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and went from there. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey fodder at the lodging place, he saw his silver, for there it was in the mouth of his sack. And he said to his brothers, "My silver has been returned, and there it is in my sack." And their hearts sank, and they were afraid, saying to each other, "What is this that Elohim has done to us?" So they came to Yaakov their father in the land of Canaan, and reported to him all that befell them, saying, "The man, the master of the land, spoke to us harshly, and took us for spies of the land. But we said to him, 'We are trustworthy, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is today with our father in the land of Canaan.' And the man, the master of the land, said to us, 'By this I know that you are trustworthy. Leave one of your brothers here with me, and take food for the scarcity of food of your households, and go. And bring your youngest brother to me. Then I know that you are not spies, but that you are trustworthy. I give your brother to you, and you move about in the land.' And it came to be, as they emptied their sacks, that look, the bundle of each man's silver was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of silver, they were afraid. And Yaakov their father said to them, 'You have bereaved me. Joseph is no more, and Shimon is no more, and you would take Benjamin? All this is against me.' So Reuben spoke to his father, saying, 'Take the lives of my 2 sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I myself bring him back to you.' But he said, My son is not going down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any harm should come to him along the way in which you go, then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to Sheol. Okay, next is Isaiah. Alright, we're in Isaiah. See, my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one, my being has delighted in. I have put my spirit upon him. He brings forth right ruling to the nations. He does not cry out, nor lifts up his voice, nor causes his voice to be heard in the street. A crushed reed he does not break, and smoking flax he does not quench. He brings forth right ruling in accordance with truth. He does not become weak or crushed until he has established right ruling in the earth, and the coastlands wait for his Torah. Thus said the Yahweh, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread forth the earth and that which comes from it, who gives breath to the people on it, and spirit to those who walk on it. I, Yahweh, have called you in righteousness, and I strengthen your hand, and guard you, and give you for a covenant to a people, for a light to the nations, to open blind eyes, to bring out prisoners from the prison, those who sit in darkness from the prison house. I am Yahweh, that is my name, and my esteem I do not give to another, nor my praise to idols. See, the former predictions have come, and new ones I am declaring. Before they spring forth, I let you hear them. Sing to Yahweh a new song, his praise from the ends of the earth. You who go down to the sea, and all that is in it, you coastlands and you inhabitants of them. Let the wilderness and its cities lift up their voice, the villages where Kedar dwells. Let the inhabitants of Selah sing, let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give esteem to Yahweh and declare his praise in the coastlands. Yahweh goes forth like a mighty man. He stirs up ardor like a fighter. He cries out, yes, shout aloud. Over his enemies he shows himself mighty. I have kept silent from of old. I have been still and held myself back. Like a woman in labor I now cry out. I pant and gasp at once. I lay waste mountains and hills, and I dry up all their plants. I shall make rivers become coastlands, and I dry up pools. And I shall lead the blind by a way they have not known, and paths they have not known I lead them. I make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight. These matters I shall do for them, and I shall not forsake them. Those who trust in idols, who say to the molded images, You are our mighty ones, shall be turned back, utterly ashamed. Hear, you deaf, and look, you blind, and see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger whom I send? Who is blind as he who is at peace, and blind as servant of Yahweh? You see much, but do not guard. Ears are open, but you do not hear. It is delighted Yahweh for the sake of his righteousness to make the Torah great and esteemed. But this is the people robbed and plundered. All of them are snared in holes. They are hidden in prison houses. They have become a prey with no one to deliver, for plunder and no one to say, Restore. Who among you gives ear to this, pays attention, and hears for the time to come? Who gives Yaakov for plunder, and Israel to the robbers? Was it not Yahweh, he against whom we sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, and they did not obey his Torah. So he has poured on him his burning displeasure and the strength of battle, and it set him on fire all around. Yet he did not understand, and it burned against him, yet he did not take it to heart. Okay, we're looking for Psalms. Okay, Psalms 42. As a deer longs for the water stream, so my being longs for you, O Elohim. My being thirsts for Elohim, for the living El. When shall I enter in to appear before Elohim? My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day, Where is your Elohim? These I remember and pour out my being within me. For I used to pass along with the throng. I went with them to the house of Elohim, with the voice of joy and praise. A multitude celebrating a festival. Why are you depressed, O my being, and why are you restless within me? Wait for Elohim, for I shall yet thank him, for the deliverance of his face. O my Elohim, my being is depressed within me. Therefore I remember you from the land of the Yarden, and from the heights of Hermon, from Mount Mitzar. Deep calls to deep at the sound of your waterfalls. All your waves and breakers passed over me. By day Yahweh commands his loving commitment, and by night his song is with me. I pray to the El of my life. I say to El my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? With murder in my bones, my enemies have reproached me. Well, they say to me all day long, where is your Elohim? Why are you depressed, O my being, and why are you restless within me? Wait for Elohim, for I shall yet thank him, the deliverance of my face, and my Elohim. Now the Pesach and the festival of Matzah was after 2 days, and the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to take him through treachery and put him to death. And they said, not at the festival, lest there shall be an uproar of the people. And while he was in Bethania, in the house of Shimon the leper, and sitting at the table, a woman came having an alabaster flask of perfume, genuine nard, very costly, and breaking the flask, she poured it on his head. And there were some who were much displeased among themselves, and said, why was this perfume wasted? For it could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor. And they were scolding her. But Yeshua said, leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a good work for me. For you have the poor with you always, and you are able to do good to them whenever you wish. But you do not always have me. What she had, she used. She took it beforehand to anoint my body for the burial. Truly I say to you, wherever this good news is proclaimed in all the world, what this woman did shall also be spoken of to her remembrance. And Yehuda from Kerioth, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to deliver him up to them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him silver. And he was seeking how to deliver him up conveniently. And on the first day of unleavened bread, when they were slaughtering the Pesach lamb, his taught one said to him, where do you wish us to go and prepare for you to eat the Pesach? And he sent 2 of his taught ones and said to them, go into the city, and there a man bearing a jar of water shall meet you. Follow him. And wherever he enters, say to the master of the house, the teacher says, where is the guest room in which I am to eat the Pesach with my taught ones? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished, ready. Prepare for us there. And his taught ones went out and came into the city and found it as he said to them, and they prepared the Pesach. And evening having come, he came with the 12. And as they sat and ate, Yeshua said, truly I say to you, one of you who is eating with me shall deliver me up. And they began to be grieved and to say to him one by one, is it I? And another, is it I? And he answering said to them, it is one of the 12, he who is dipping with me in the dish. The son of Adam is indeed going, as it has been written of him. But woe to that man by whom the son of Adam is delivered up. It would have been good for that man if he had not been born. And as they were eating, Yeshua took bread, having blessed, broke it, gave it to them, and said, take, eat, this is my body. And taking the cup, giving thanks, he gave it to them. And they all drank from it. And he said, this is my blood, that of the renewed covenant, which is shed for many. Truly I say to you, I shall certainly no more drink of the fruit of the vine till that day when I drink it anew in the reign of Elohim. And having sung a song, they went out on to the Mount of Olives. And Yeshua said to them, all of you shall stumble at me this night, for it has been written, I shall strike the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. But after I am raised, I shall go before you to Galilee. And Kepha said to him, even if all shall stumble, yet not I. And Yeshua said to him, truly I say to you that today, this night, before the cock shall crow twice, you shall deny me 3 times. But he spoke more strongly, if I have to die with you, I shall not deny you. And they all said the same. And they came to a place called Gethsemane. And he said to his taught ones, sit here while I pray. And he took with him Kepha and Yaakov and Yochanan, and began to be greatly amazed and to be deeply distressed. And he said to them, my being is exceedingly grieved, even to death. Stay here and watch. And he went on a little and fell on the ground and was praying that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all is possible for you. Make this cup pass from me, yet not what I desire, but what you desire. We're on page 976. And one of my children is here trying to read along. And he came and found them sleeping, and said to Kepha, Shimon, are you sleeping? You are not able to watch 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into the trial. The spirit indeed is eager, but the flesh is weak. And again he went away and prayed and spoke the same words. All right, Baruch is going to try to read a verse or two.
And he,
having
returned, he
found them
asleep again, for their
eyes
were
heavy,
and
they did not know what to answer. And him. All right, I'll read on. Sorry, I hope that was okay. And he came the third time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? It is enough. The hour has come. See, the son of Adam is being delivered up into the hands of sinners. Rise up, let us go. See, he who is delivering me up has drawn near." And immediately, while he was still speaking, Yehuda, one of the 12, with a large crowd with swords and clubs, came from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. And the one who was delivering him up had given them a signal, saying, "Whomever I kiss, it is he. Seize him and lead him away safely." And going straight up to him, he said to him, "Rabbi, Rabbi," and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him and seized him. And one of those standing by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. And Yeshua answering said to them, "Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to take me? Daily I was with you in the set-apart place teaching, and you did not seize me, but let the scriptures be filled." And they all left him and fled. And a certain young man was following him, having a linen cloth thrown around his naked body. And when they seized him, he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. And they led Yeshua away to the high priest. And all the chief priests and the elders and the scribes came together to him. And Kepha followed him at a distance, even into the courtyard of the high priest. And he was sitting with the officers and warming himself at the fire. And the chief priests and all the council were seeking witness against Yeshua to put him to death. And they were finding none. And many bore false witness against him, but their evidence did not agree. And some rose up and bore false witness against him, saying, "We heard him saying, I shall destroy this dwelling place that it is made with hands, and within 3 days I shall build another made without hands." And not even then did their witness agree. And then the high priest stood up in the center and asked Yeshua, saying, "Have you no answer to make? What do these witness against you?" But he remained silent and gave no answer. Again the high priest asked him, saying to him, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed?" And Yeshua said, "I am, and you shall see the Son of Adam sitting at the right hand of the power, and coming with the clouds of the heaven." And tearing his garments, the high priest said, "What further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" And they all condemned him to be liable to death. And some began to spit on him, and to blindfold him, and to beat him, and to say to him, "Prophesy." And the officers struck him with the palms of their hands. And as Kepha was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came, and seeing Kepha warming himself, she looked at him and said, "And you are with Yeshua of Nazareth?" But he denied it, saying, "I do not know nor understand what you are saying." And he went out onto the porch, and a cock crowed. And the servant girls saw him again, and began to say to those who stood by, "This is one of them." And again he was denying it. And after a little while, those who stood by again said to Kepha, "Truly you are one of them, for you are a Galilean too, and your speech is alike." And he began to curse and swear, "I do not know this man of whom you speak." And a second time the cock crowed. And Kepha remembered the word that Yeshua had said to him, "Before the cock crows twice, you shall deny me 3 times." And thinking on it, he wept.